In my last video, I mentioned that I am going to be migrating out of Kingdom 2250 here in just a few days. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I'm migrating out, where I'm going, and the things you should be doing if you are thinking about migrating. So stick around. What's up everybody, Psycho here with another Rise of Kingdoms video. As I said in my last video, I am migrating out. I'm not migrating out alone. I'm actually migrating out with a fairly sizable group, the group of people that I came in here with. Most of us are going to be migrating out together. We came to 2250, and I'll put a card at the top for when we came to this kingdom from Kingdom 1993. We came here to redo the KVK2 and the KVK3 experience. I have videos on those on my channel as well. In fact, that's really when I started going with this channel, was about redoing the KVK2 and KVK3 experience. We've now done a Heroic Anthem KVK, and that Heroic Anthem KVK is most of the way over. We still have about a couple of weeks left, but we've won the KVK, and I'll put a card at the top for that video talking about winning this KVK as well. And we have decided to migrate out of this kingdom. So a couple of things you might want to know. Why would you migrate out? Well, one reason to migrate out is because this group, the group that I'm in, even myself included, have always wanted to give those Imperium, give those top level kingdoms a chance. We've wanted to be in those for a while. When we migrated back to do KVK2 all over again, it was with the intention of getting ourselves strong enough to be in a Imperium level kingdom. I don't have the numbers here with me, but I bet if I went back and looked at some old videos and looked at my kill points when we migrated back to do KVK2, was not very impressive. Power wasn't very impressive. Deads weren't very impressive, right? Basically all of the stats that I have would not have been very impressive. But we went back to do KVK2 so we could rebuild those stats, we could get a bunch of gold heads saved up, we could jump into the Season of Conquest, and we could expertise commanders like I've done here. I've expertised Nevsky, and I've expertised Honda. I've taken my Trajan to a 5551, right? I've nearly expertised the Nebuchadnezzar as well. So all of that kind of stuff we did. And of course we gathered all kinds of materials and built, excellent gear for all of our commanders, our legendary commanders. We've got legendary gear on them. You know, my cavalry march is pretty well done, other than special talenting some of these pieces. We got Season of Conquest accessories, and we've crafted those and put those on. So we've gotten our account in a really strong position, and now many of us, and myself included, are in a position that we can get into a Season of an Imperium level kingdom in Season of Conquest. And so that's where we are headed. We want to head to an Imperium level kingdom. I want to say a couple of things here. The first thing I want to say is that this is not a knock on Kingdom 2250. Kingdom 2250 has been an amazing kingdom for us. The king has been fantastic. Both of the kings, both Clown and Frosty, the two who often share king the most, have been incredibly generous, incredibly helpful to me, to my group. We've really worked well as a team. It's been a really fun kingdom to be in. It's a sort of a low AC kingdom, so there's still plenty of fighting. There's a lot of action. It's really good diplomacy. The kings are very good at managing diplomacy with other kingdoms. They have very good relationships with the members within the kingdoms. Very well run and organized in terms of the KVK planning, the Mightiest Governor events. All of it is very fair and very equitable for lots and lots of players. And it's just a very generous and very helpful kingdom. So can't say enough about Kingdom 2250. If it weren't for the fact that I wanted to get into an Imperium kingdom and that my group wanted to get into an Imperium kingdom, we would be staying here because we have really had a lot of fun in this kingdom. So if you are looking for a kingdom to migrate to, I am absolutely certain that Kingdom 2250 is looking for players like you. So if you're somebody who says, hey, I think I'd like to give an A seed kingdom a try, maybe you're coming from a lower level kingdom, or maybe you're coming from an Imperium kingdom, you said, you know what, Imperium was just too much for me, I want to step it down a little bit. 2250 is a great kingdom, and I cannot recommend it enough. So So check it out if you want to know more. You can comment on this video, or any way I can find some way to get a link to you to how to get into Kingdom 22.4, or you can just come into Kingdom 2250, message the King, message Clown, message Frosty, and I'm sure they will they'll get back to you. So that's number one. Number two, where am I actually going? When I said that we're going to an Imperium Kingdom, well, we really got a great opportunity for our group all to move together, because we weren't sure if we were ever going to be able to do that. There's 25 or 26 of us, and it's just really hard to get a whole group to move together. Luckily, we found a place that was able to take the entire group, and that is Kingdom 254, or if you want to go with the full name, it's 1254. This is a pretty famous and pretty well-known kingdom. If you watch Rise of Kingdoms videos on YouTube, some of the most famous YouTubers, and including probably the most famous, at least English-speaking YouTuber on Rise of Kingdoms, is in that kingdom, that being Chisgul, but also Redline and Cortex, and you probably know Bunny from some videos. There are just a really tremendous number of really well-known players in this kingdom. It's a super exciting kingdom. They have a ton of power. They've been Imperium for a while. They fight in some really amazing KVKs. So we are really looking forward to that. We'll be joining the LIV Alliance when we get there. And that's going to be in like 3 or 4 days when that migration happens. So speaking of migration, how does that work? How can you do migration? And I've talked about migration on here before, but a couple of things that we need to do to prepare for migration. One of the things about Imperium Kingdoms is once they're out of Imperium, which they are doing, by the way, the Kingdom 254 is amazing how so many of their players have dropped power way, way down to like 60, 65, 70 million. Their King Bunny, who's over 500 million, is down to like 70 million power or something like that right now. They've dropped so much power so that they can fit migrants like us. They can fit as many migrants as they can into their kingdom. So that is amazing. That's really incredible. So that's one thing, is that you need to lower the power for as many people as you can, including the people in the kingdom and the migrants, the people who are migrating in, so that you can maximize the number of very active players that you can get into your kingdom. That's what they're doing, and that's what we're doing as migrating players. So I'm at 95 million power right now. This is way down from my highest level power, which I think was close to 130, almost 130 million power. I think at one point, where is it there? Yeah, 129 million. So I'm way down from that, but I've still got a lot more to go. I need to get myself down to, I need to lose about 1.1 million troops. I need to lose, about 11 million power. So I need to drop all the way down to 84 million power to meet the requirements to get in. So here in the last few days, I'm going to be doing that, and I have already been doing that. How have I been doing that? Well, one thing is my hospital is totally full. Let me go over here to my troops page. You can see that my hospital is totally at capacity. It's been at capacity for days. That means when I do things like kill barbarians, and I'll just show you a report here. Every time I kill a barbarian, I get these. I have 19 dead units there, 24 dead units there, 51 there. So every time I go out and kill these barbarians, I'm taking deaths because I don't care. I need to lose the troops. I need to lose the power to get in. So that's number one, is I'm killing off some troops. I filled up my hospital. I have to get to 84 million power with that hospital full to make the requirements to get in. So that's one of the things I'm doing right now. We're also in the Mightiest Governor killing event, so I'm going to be doing some battling where I just take deads. I just take deads on the field, get some MGE points, and that'll be how it is. And then after the Mightiest Governor event ends, I'll just kill off the rest of my troops that I need to get into Kingdom 254. So that's number one, is kill off some troops. Number two, filling the hospitals. Another thing you can do to reduce power, if you need to reduce power for this, is actually use talent resets. So a lot of commanders that you don't use, so let me scroll down and see if I can find one. For example, like, let's see, those are all commanders that I use. So let's go to somebody like Osmond. Like I don't use Osmond at all, but I had talent points on Osmond. The problem is those talent points actually increase his power, which increases my total overall power. So I used a bunch of talent resets to take all of the talents to zero. That is, if you click here, there are 0 talents whatsoever on Osmond. And that's really important because then I don't have any extra, there's no wasted power going on there. Another thing that you can do is remove all of your gear. I do have all of my gear on right now, but I will be, because I'm doing things like fighting and battling barbarians and playing some Lost Canyon, those kinds of game modes. So you have to have the gear on to do those things. But I will take my gear off of all of my commanders before I migrate, because again, that also lowers the power. If you take all of the gear off, you strip them all of all their gear, including your gathering commanders, take all of that gear off and your power will go down even more. So that's a really important thing to do as well, particularly when I'm migrating in, because there are other people who are migrating in at the same time. So it's really important to keep your power absolutely to the bottom of the barrel that you can until all of the migrants are in and we're sure that everybody's in safely. So those are just some of the ways that you can power down. Obviously, killing the troops is the fastest way. Another thing you have to be thinking about if you're looking at migrating is passports. You need passports to migrate. At the target of 84 million power, I am going to need, I think it's 55 million power, 55 passports. Let me double check that. Yes, between 80 and 85 million, you need 55 passports. So I need 4 more passports in the next few days. You can get those in a couple of ways. The sort of easiest way, if you're spending money in the game, is to just buy them from the monthly. You can only buy so many per month, but you can buy them from the New World bundle. They give you passports. A lot of people just buy level 1 and level 2 every month, no matter what, even if they're not planning to migrate, just so they can accumulate those passports for when it's time to go. The other thing that you can do is buy them in the Alliance shop. I doubt if our Alliance shop even has any right now, because there have been a lot of people buying passports. Yeah, as you can see, there's no passports in here right now, but you can buy those from the Alliance shop. I forget exactly how much they cost. I think it's 600,000 credits. So they actually cost quite a few credits to purchase those. And you can see at 600,000 credits, what could I purchase? I couldn't even purchase 20 of those right now. So it's pretty expensive if you're going to try to do it all via Alliance credits. So that's really important though. If you're going to migrate, you have to acquire those passports, or you have to bring your power level down low enough that you can get enough passports to go in. The third thing that you ought to be thinking about doing, and most kingdoms do this, particularly if it's a big Imperium kingdom, is setting up your migration time. 254 is really organized. You can only get 1 migrant in per minute. So that means you need to schedule when those migrants are coming, because if you just open the doors and just let people press, it can be really dicey, because certain people are going to get in when they shouldn't have gotten in and all of that kind of thing. So it's really important that it's all very organized, and that people know when people are getting in, and that all has to be scheduled in advance. The next thing that you really should be doing or be thinking about when you're thinking about migrating is that you can't take your resources with you. You can see that I've got 69 million food, 1 billion wood, 1.1 billion stone, and 292 million gold. I can't take any of that with me. And that includes on my farm accounts. I have farm accounts that have resources on them as well. Any opened resources you cannot take with you. This is why it's not really advisable to open all of your packs, because if you decide to migrate and all of your packs are open, you just lose all of that resources. So those resources that are in packs, you can take with you, and I do have resources in packs. I won't show you how many I have, but I do have some there. But all those other resources that are open right now, those are all gone. So what you want to do is spend those resources down. Now, if you're moving into a kingdom where they don't care how much power you have, this is actually a good time just to spend your resources training. You can just power up and train a bunch of troops and migrate in, and it's all good. You didn't waste those resources. You at least put those resources to some good. In my case, I can't do that. In fact, you can see that I have all these troops that have just been sitting here. I'm not even collecting them because I don't want to add any more power at all. I'm just sitting here waiting on those troops. Same thing with my hospital. I'm not healing it down because, again, I need to keep that thing full until after we migrate. So spending down those resources is a priority. How can I do that? Well, a few ways. One, because I'm in Heroic Anthem KVK, I can sometimes get Bastions quests that allow me to donate resources. And typically before the fighting, I never want to do that. I want to save all of my resources in case I need them for the fighting. But like I can go over here. I'm certainly not going to do this one. I'm not going to be doing the power up, which these are actually very good quests to do before the fighting when you want to add troops. But now that the fighting's over and I'm looking to migrate, adding troops is the last thing I want to do, so I don't want that quest at all. So, okay, gather 3 runes. That's a pretty easy quest. I will probably do that one. I'm going to try to get these last set of Bastion quests done so I can get this Crusader achievement, which comes with 3 gold heads here. So it would be nice if I can get the last, say, 36 or so of these done before I have to migrate out. So, spending down your resources, donating those bastions, that's one way to do it. Other things that you can do with your resources is upgrade different kinds of buildings in your cities, particularly your farms. If you have farms, you might want to just upgrade them as much as you can, in part because in the Season of Conquest, you can only migrate your farms into the Lost Kingdom if they are level 25 or above, City Hall level 25 or above. So not above, or just at 25, right? So you've got to be at least CH 25 to get into the Lost Kingdom. And so a A lot of times you have farms that are CH22. I have several CH22 farms, and I'm just trying to level those up. I've got these resources. I'm going to waste them if I don't use them. So I'm putting those resources into those farms, leveling up those farms. This is a really good time to level up those farms. At the same time, it's also a really good time to craft equipment, particularly if you have gold. If you have extra gold lying around, a really good thing to do with it is to just craft equipment. That can include, particularly on your farms, gathering gear. You can just try to get as much of that epic gathering gear as you can on your gatherers, because you're not going to have that gold anyway. This is a really good time to spend it. You're not going to be able to spend it on your main account. The other place you can do it, obviously, is on your main account. You could go for gathering gear on your main account if that's one of the things you have, or one of the things that you're looking for. Like if you have animal bone, you can do that. I actually need to craft a couple of pieces for that archer set. I was thinking about crafting these before, but I held off because I didn't know how much gold I was going to need in Kingsland. But now that that's all over, I think it's a really good time to actually go ahead and craft these last two pieces of my archer set. And let's, cross our fingers and hope for the best. So the Dragon's Breastplate, that is not the one I need. What am I doing? What do I need? I need the Archer Helm, which is this one here, the Dragon's Breath Helm. So let's go ahead and craft that one first. I think I have to use 9 of these pick ones, which, yes, it's automatically going to use those. So that's very cool. So let's just go ahead and spend, it's 20 million gold, but hey, I'm going to lose this gold anyway. So let's just spend it. Okay, there's the Dragon's Breath Helm. I'm not going to equip it just yet, but I will momentarily. And finally, we need to equip or also look at this last Dragon's Breath piece, the Dragon's Breath Tassus. This will give me the full 6-piece Dragon Breath set, which is 5% Archer health, which is really, really, really nice. So let's go ahead and craft that. It takes 29 pick ones for this and 20 million more gold. Here we go. And of course, no special talents. All right, got totally wrecked. Okay, Vanquisher bundles, that's nice. Totally wrecked on these pieces, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and remove that one. Remove that one. And go ahead and complete our full Dragon's Breath set. It's okay that I guess that they didn't special talent, since I'm using it on Trajan right now anyway, and I'm certainly not going to special talent at leadership. If I special talented, it would definitely be archers. So yeah, so there we go. So this is a really good use of gold at this point. You might as well do your crafting. You might as well use that gold in any way that you can. So I think those are the main things that I'm trying to focus on. One other thing that you're going to do when you are preparing to migrate is realize that it doesn't do you any good to farm resources on the map, because you can't take those resources with you. Now, I do it once a day for these daily quests, right? The daily quests over here. Where are the daily quests? If you do these, you can get this here, which gives you 100 gems and some other stuff. So I will do that for the daily quests, but other than that, I won't be farming any resources on the map. Instead, I'm actually farming gems, which look, if you watch a lot of free-to-play guides, that's what they're going to tell you, is you should be farming gems all the time on your main, and you should be using your farms to farm resources. That's a really smart strategy. For me, I don't do that. I don't really farm gems on my main account, but I am now, because that is the one resource you can take with you when you migrate. You can't take any of the gold. I don't actually know what happens with these crystals, if it does anything with them. You can't take the gold, you can't take the food, you can't take the wood, you can't take the stone, but you can take your gems with you. So when you are preparing to migrate, it is a really good time to go out there and farm up some gems. So that's really what I've been doing. That's it for this video. Look, had some excellent and amazing KVKs. We won 2 out of our 3 KVKs. Honestly, I think we could have won the 3rd KVK. We could have won that KVK 3 if it weren't for such a disaster with our allied camp getting into a camp war with themselves. Otherwise, I think we had a real legit shot at winning that KVK 3 as well. But we won the other 2 KVKs where we really had a chance to compete. It was a lot of fun to be in Kingdom 2250. Shout out to Frosty and Cloud, who were such welcoming hosts for us while we were here. If you're looking for a great kingdom to come to, I cannot recommend this one more highly. Looking forward to very much getting into Kingdom 254 in a few days. And of course, I'll be making videos from there as well. Should be really exciting to be in such a big Imperium high-powered kingdom. and really looking for the KVKs that will follow once we get there. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below if you learned anything about migration or if you have any other questions about migration. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you get notifications every time I upload a new video, and I will see you all in the next one.